Welcome everyone. Welcome to one of my favourite topics called listen. So there are a whole different range of concepts around the word listen or listening. So the first one is that you listen to yourself, and I'll explain these as we go. To listen to yourself, you need downtime. So the way that I find that my mind works is that in my downtime, my subconscious feeds my conscious, but downtime is extremely important. And what was happening a little while ago at the start of COVID, we were working that hard, even though we were being benched at home by the government, that I became quite fatigued. So therefore, a lot of the ideas and concepts that I normally have on a regular basis, I weren't having. So my mind was becoming dormant purely from the fatigue point of view. So I learned that rest and sleep, as we all know, it was a very, very critical factor in relation to the rejuvenation of my subconscious to feed my conscious. So the first one, and then that made me listen to myself more. So when I was sort of rejuvenated, I found that I had more ideas. So out of that, my ideas again started to grow for my business. The second thing is listen to others. Listen to others that you admire and respect, right? So what that does is you'll have a cross range of ideas, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're right or wrong. But I have a couple of groups that I'm part of, and one of them is a brainstorming group with 30 different professionals from venture capitalists to lawyers to brokers to architects, to civil engineers, mechanical engineers. And there's a group of us, and we get together once every few months, and we'll talk about ideas. And out of those things, what actually happens is that you see that those businesses have some of the same dilemmas you do. They give you some ideas on how they've handled them, and you can give your ideas on how you've handled some of your problems. But what also happens is it creates a community of like-minded people. So in relation to listening, I will ring people when I have an idea that I think I might have a solution to, and I'll bounce it off them. But I must admire and respect them. The third thing is I listen to the things that I read and follow up. And that might sound a little bit funny, but if I come across a really good idea in an article or in a book, I will get that idea, I will highlight that idea, and I'll review that idea in 2 or 3 or 4 days' time to see whether it resonates at the same level that it did when I first read it. Because sometimes later on it doesn't. Okay? So we'll talk, that will be reading. And the last idea is what I call my shit list. I listen and look at my shit list on a regular basis. And that is created at 3 o'clock in the morning at the devil's witching hour, when a lot of us wake up for those few minutes and struggle or try and go back to sleep. What I do is I have a notepad next to my bed, and I write out what's troubling me, and I put it back there. And what I find is 99% of the time I go back to sleep, not immediately, but very close to. So what I do is I listen and look at my shit list on a regular basis. Because to write something out, you're actually listening to your mind and putting it down on paper and getting it out of your head to keep your head clear. Because the key to running a good humanitarian enterprise in today's economy, with all the argy-bargy that we've got from the political situation, from the media situation, from the competitors' situation, is we need some solidarity of soul so we can cope with the next movement forward. Because if you're not growing your business currently today, you're going to be regressing. Thanks for listening.